from StephenDarmer.com. I just wanted to come here and I wanted to shoot a quick video. I had a discussion with a friend of mine the other night, last Friday. We were out chatting as we normally do. And he brought up this interesting point, and it's a lot about, as you can see on the screen here, an entrepreneur's mentality, or the mentality of an entrepreneur versus a business, or versus an employee, or even a bum. Is, I'm not trying to be rude about being a bum, but somebody on the street who we'll get into who they are a little bit more, and you'll understand in a second here. But so basically, the different mentalities that end up developing in order to create the success, the mindset that you end up actually needing to have. And it's one of those things that you hear all the time in the way of building a business, and people that become business people, they don't become a business person and they're like, oh great, I'm a business person, wonderful, blah, 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 I made all this money. You hear that sometimes, but the big thing that you don't really hear, and that I believe most, is it's not the things that you get that creates the most success, but it's the person you become. It's the mentality that you develop becoming that person that able to build that kind of a business, to build a large business. It's the person that you need to be. So let's just get into it here. So basically, this is going to end up looking like a graph here, but if we take the first bit and we talk about entitlement. Entitlement is something that is very big for a lot of people. The North American society, I feel anyways, that's just my opinion, has become a very much of an entitlement mentality. People feel they are entitled to certain things. They feel that the government is supposed to look after them, or their company that they've worked for is supposed to look after them. They feel they are entitled to have that. So they're entitled to, people owe them. I see it all the time with kids. I was over at a friend's house yesterday, and the daughter was just like, she's going to Europe for a month in the summer, but she doesn't want to work to save up some money. Her parents are paying for the ticket, but she needs to put some of the cash together to, to do things there, to go to a mall, to have spending money and stuff like that. So she feels she's entitled. Her parents should be just giving her the money. So it's an entitlement mentality as opposed to her going out there and working for it and developing it herself. So if we take this to the next step, we also have responsibility. Now everybody knows responsibility is huge. Responsibility is our self-awareness, self-knowing inside of ourselves that this is what we need to do. We're going to step up and step up to the plate and take action or do whatever. We're going to have the responsibility to do it. So in a way of like, kids and stuff like that, when you're a new parent, you feel responsible for the kid because you brought him into this world and everything like that. If you buy a house, you're responsible for the house. If you have a car, you're responsible to fix the car, fix the house, right? That's your responsibility. So the funny thing that happens is this is an inversion. If you look here, I got the triangles a certain way, right? If you have a big entitlement, usually you don't feel you have much responsibility, right? But if you have a lot of responsibility, if you're being very responsible, normally you don't feel like you're entitled to a lot. That's generally how it ends up working. And then there's people in the middle who have responsibility, but then they also feel that they don't have much entitlement, right? So, kick this out one more. This is kind of what I was talking about in the way of an employee, an entrepreneur, and a bum, not to be rude, but that's kind of how it goes. So, somebody on the street, the government, so they feel the government should be paying for them, giving them health care, Medicare, whatever, social services, extra money, welfare, all that kind of stuff. And they don't have any responsibility. They don't want to have to deal with anything. They don't want to have to do anything at all, but they feel that they should be given cash and given this and being taken care of because they got a bad rap or whatever the heck it is, right? Then there's entrepreneurs, a real business owner, a real person who steps up to the plate and is building a big business and everything. They got huge responsibility. They got employees that they got to pay, they got to have people they got to take care of, they got customer service up, they've got all sorts of things that they put responsibility on themselves on. But they don't have very much entitlement. They don't feel they're entitled to things because they have responsibility. They have the self-awareness to go out and take action and do things for themselves. And then you have employees which run anywhere in the middle. I'm not saying it's dead center, but they can be anywhere in the middle. It depends on the employee, it depends on the person, everything like that. But they feel that they have some responsibility, like a lot of employees. They own a home, they own a car, and they own different things, and they have kids, so they feel they're responsible for certain things, and they also feel that they're entitled to certain things. Not entitled to everything, not entitled to nothing, but they feel that they're entitled to certain things. You know, a lot of parents, a lot of people that have jobs also want like tax breaks. They feel they're entitled to tax breaks. They feel that they're entitled to get extra checks from the government and stuff like that, for doing certain things. And they feel that they're entitled to having a retirement. You know, you work for someone for 40 years. That was the old case, right? My grandparents worked for a company for 40 years or 50 years or 20 years or whatever it was. And then you get a pension for the rest of your life, however long that is. So that was an entitlement mentality. Well, a lot of employees still have that, even though it's going by the wayside, right? That was more than an industrial age, around the information age, a little different. But if we kick it out one more step further, let's add this reward here, okay? We're add this reward, and it's in this format again for the same reason. People on the bottom end of these scales, they have a lot of entitlement, but they don't get a lot of rewards, and they don't have a lot of responsibility. So they just feel that they're entitled to a lot of things. Where you get an entrepreneur, you get someone who's really stepped up and they're being really responsible and taking on the responsibilities and taking on the actions and taking on the things, they feel they're entitled to nothing. But the funny thing is they get the most reward. These people who build these big businesses, they just get time reward. We'll throw the lines out here. They just feel that they end up getting tons and tons of rewards, because they took on the responsibility and went for it. That's how a lot of business owners end up creating all the wealth, is because of the reward of the business. They stepped up and they were responsible. They created the mindset. They developed themselves into the person, that mentality that you need to have really have success. And they get big time rewards, right? Employees are in the middle here, right? They've got a little bit of everything. They get some rewards because they obviously get paid better and they have a better lifestyle than most people down on the lower end here, but they don't have as big of a lifestyle generally as an entrepreneur. So someone who has a real, like, you see it all the time, these people who built a big business and now all of a sudden they're living in $1 million mansions and have this huge lifestyle and being able to buy all these fancy cars and everything like that, where people in the middle here, their reward isn't that big, but they feel they're entitled to more. Where you look at an entrepreneur, like I know myself, I don't feel that the government should be paying me anything, really, right? What is the government doing for me? How is that benefiting me or anything like that? I look at it, you know, I'm in my late 20s. I don't think the government's going to be sitting there sending out social security stuff for me or anything like that. That's my responsibility. I got to take care of myself. And my family. So that's where I have very low entitlement, but I have a lot of responsibility because of my business that I've built. But then the rewards are coming along just the same. They're larger rewards. The potentials and the actions are way bigger in the way of the rewards. So look at your life, look at your business, look at your mentality. Where do you fall in this category? Really sit down and have a think. Where do you fall? Are you somewhere in the middle? Are you near the top? Are you near the bottom? What is your mentality like? 'Cause that's what you need to develop in order to really create success in your life, okay? So I will chat with you guys later. I hope you have a great day, and talk soon. Bye.